The airlock hissed open with a sharp clang, breaking the tense silence that filled Zephyr Station's docking bay. Mara Lice's heart skipped a beat. She was ready, or at least she told herself she was. But as the heavy hatch slid fully aside, revealing the tall, broad-shouldered figure stepping out, her carefully crafted scientific composure began to wobble. Captain Cole Harper moved with the calm confidence of a soldier who had seen his share of battles, yet there was an easy warmth in his eyes that immediately set Mara's nerves on edge. The harsh, cold lights of the station glinted off the dark, tactical armor hugging his powerful frame. But beneath it all, Mara could see the undeniable pulse of life and strength that made humans so unique. She swallowed hard and muttered under her breath, "Humans really are different." That simple statement wasn't just a comment on the obvious physical differences between her and Cole. It was a realization that the humans defied all her expectations, especially when it came to their biology. Mara was a xenobiologist, someone who spent years studying alien life forms, their strange reproductive habits, their exotic mating dances, and the fragile limits of their bodies. But humans, they were something else entirely. She'd pored over the research data for months, the dry scientific papers stacked high in her lab, and what she found baffled her. Human males, like Cole, were capable of something that no other species in the known galaxy could match. They could mate every single day, 365 days a year, without suffering any serious physical damage. No long recovery periods, no debilitating exhaustion, just relentless stamina that left even the hardiest alien species in the dust. This was why Mara was so nervous. Today was more than just an official meeting or diplomatic handshake. It was the moment where theory would meet reality, and she might finally understand what made humans biologically superior in this area. But there was also something else bubbling beneath her curiosity, something primal, almost instinctual, that made her pulse quicken when Cole's dark eyes met hers. As he stepped fully into the bay, Mara's mind raced. What was it about human biology that allowed such incredible endurance? Was it cellular regeneration, a unique biochemical process? Or was it simply that humans were built tougher, more resilient, and yes, better equipped? She fought to keep her scientific voice steady as she stepped forward to greet him. Her silvery hair shimmered in the blue light, and the soft glow from her neural implants pulsed gently with her elevated heart rate. Mara extended her hand, trying to hide the slight tremor. "Captain Harper, welcome to Zephyr Station. I've been looking forward to meeting you." Cole smiled, his firm grip a little stronger than she expected. "Dr. Liss, the honor's mine. Earth sent me because your research into human-alien biology is fascinating, to say the least. I hear you're trying to unlock some secrets about us." "Fascinating is one way to put it," Mara said with a small, nervous laugh. "Your species breaks all the rules when it comes to reproductive endurance. It's baffling. No other species can keep up with that kind of stamina. It doesn't make sense biologically." Cole's grin widened. "Well, we like to keep things interesting." Mara followed him through the gleaming hallways toward her laboratory, trying not to stare too much at the confident, fluid way he moved. There was something undeniably magnetic about Cole. Not just his physique, but the quiet strength in his presence. For a moment, she wondered if her interest was truly scientific, or something a little more personal. Her lab was filled with holographic displays and data projections of various alien anatomies, but it was the human charts that dominated the largest screen. "Your anatomy is remarkable," Mara said, pointing at the glowing images. "How do you manage the strain? The rest of the galaxy's males need days or weeks to recover. Humans? You just go again." Cole chuckled, shaking his head. "Let's just say we're built differently. It's not magic or some fancy alien tech, it's pure human design." "Design, huh?" Mara teased. "I need more than words. I want empirical data." He raised an eyebrow. "You're serious about this?" She nodded. "Absolutely. Science demands it." And with that, their research began. But the station was quiet now. Too quiet. Mara couldn't shake the feeling that this first contact wasn't just about biology or diplomacy. It was the beginning of something far bigger and more dangerous. Because as Cole's presence filled the room, Mara felt her heart race not just with curiosity, but with desire. And she realized that understanding human biology might come with more personal discoveries than she ever imagined. In that moment, as the alien stars shone coldly outside the station's windows, Mara Liss knew this meeting would test every scientific theory she held and challenge the limits of her own heart. The soft hum of the lab's machinery filled the air as Mara Liss and Captain Cole Harper settled into the research space. The sterile room, with its glowing holographic displays and racks of alien biological samples, felt charged with an energy neither of them had expected. What began as a simple scientific meeting was quickly shifting into something far more personal. And Mara was keenly aware of it. Cole pulled off his armored gloves, revealing strong hands that looked just as capable of delicate tasks as they were of battlefield commands. "So, Dr. Liss," he said with a playful smile, "tell me exactly what it is you find so puzzling about humans." Mara hesitated, then leaned forward, her green eyes gleaming behind her glasses. "It's your reproductive biology. Specifically, male stamina. Most species require significant recovery after mating, sometimes days, sometimes weeks. But humans, you can do it every day. And not just for a week or two, but all year long. No species we've studied comes close." Cole chuckled, shaking his head. "Yeah, Earthmen like to keep busy." Mara laughed softly, the tension easing between them. "I suppose that's one way to put it." She tapped a control panel, and a new holographic chart appeared, comparing species recovery cycles. The Varanthians, with their six-legged limbs and segmented torsos, needed nearly 3 weeks to recover. The delicate Silthari females required days of rest just to regain neural sensitivity after mating. Even the famously resilient Dornax took at least 48 hours. And yet, Mara pointed at the human data, your species shows no signs of wear. How does your body manage that? Cole shrugged, his grin teasing. I wish I had a scientific answer. Maybe it's the coffee, maybe the adrenaline, maybe just stubbornness. Mara's scientific mind was racing, but a flicker of something else flashed through her thoughts. You're joking, but I have to know more. Your anatomy. Especially... She paused, the words almost slipping out. Cole's eyebrows lifted, sensing where this was heading. The size and structure of your reproductive organ, Mara finished, cheeks flushing a faint shade of purple. An unusual color for her species, but a clear sign of her nervousness. Compared to most alien males, you're, well, significantly larger. That must give you a distinct advantage. Cole's smirk deepened, a spark of humor and pride lighting his eyes. You could say that. Earthmen have a reputation after all. Mara tried to suppress a grin. You're fortunate your biology supports your enthusiasm. They both laughed, the sound lightening the atmosphere. I want to understand it, Mara said, her voice dropping to a more serious tone. The cellular processes, the biomechanics, the neural feedback loops that allow you to sustain this level of activity. If I can figure it out, it could revolutionize reproductive medicine across multiple species. Cole nodded, impressed by her dedication. Sounds like you need a willing subject. Her heart skipped at the invitation disguised as a casual comment. That's precisely what I intend. They spent hours exchanging knowledge, Mara explaining alien physiology, and Cole describing human biology with surprising clarity and humor. She marveled at his willingness to share, his openness rare among the alien researchers she'd encountered before. But it wasn't just science that connected them. Mara found herself watching the way Cole's jaw tightened when he was thinking hard, how his dark eyes crinkled when he laughed, how even his measured words carried an undercurrent of confidence that stirred something deep inside her. As the day slipped into evening, the station's usual quiet was broken by an alarm, a sharp, urgent blare echoing through the corridors. Mara's heart jumped. Pirates, Cole said instantly, his soldier instincts kicking in. They've been hitting research stations for tech and specimens. Mara's scientific curiosity gave way to raw fear. The station's defenses were minimal, and the incoming vessels were fast, heavily armed. "Get to your ship," Cole ordered, already moving toward the door. "No," Mara said, grabbing his arm. "The docking bay is too far. They'll be here before you get there. We need to hold this sector." Cole looked at her, respect flickering in his eyes. "All right, together." They armed themselves with energy pistols and took positions near the lab entrance. The hum of the station's emergency protocols filled the air as reinforced barriers slid into place. The battle was fierce. Explosions rocked the station, and the air thickened with smoke and tension. But Cole's calm precision under fire was mesmerizing. Mara moved with unexpected agility, her scientific mind focused now on survival and defense. Through the chaos, their eyes met. There was no need for words, only the unspoken bond of two warriors fighting side by side. Mara realized her fascination with human biology had become something more profound. Cole was more than just a subject. He was the beginning of a connection she never saw coming. When the last of the pirates fell or fled, they stood panting, adrenaline still racing. Cole looked at Mara, a half-smile playing on his lips. "Not exactly the controlled experiment you were hoping for." She laughed, breathless. "No, but certainly more enlightening." As the station's lights stabilized and calm returned, Mara felt an unfamiliar warmth spreading through her, one not explained by biology alone. Her scientific curiosity had led her to a discovery far beyond cellular regeneration or physical stamina. It had opened a door to something deeper, desire, trust, and a promise of something neither of them yet understood, but both were eager to explore. The lab's emergency lights cast flickering shadows across the sleek metallic walls as the last echoes of the pirate assault faded. Mara Lise wiped a thin sheen of sweat from her brow, her breath still shallow from the adrenaline surge. Captain Cole Harper stood nearby, his dark eyes scanning the damage with a mix of vigilance and quiet satisfaction. They had survived, but barely. The weight of what had just happened hung heavily in the air between them. "Impressive," Mara admitted, unable to keep the awe from her voice. "You're not just a diplomat, you're a soldier through and through." Cole shrugged modestly, a faint smirk tugging at his lips. "It comes with the job. I've had my share of firefights. But I'm not just here to fight. I'm here to help you unlock those secrets you're so obsessed with." Mara's cheeks flushed at the compliment, though she quickly masked it with a wry smile. "I wouldn't call it obsession. More like relentless curiosity." Cole's gaze softened as he stepped closer. Curiosity can be a powerful thing, especially when it's mutual. The way his voice lowered, the subtle way his eyes lingered on her, sent a shiver down Mara's spine. She cleared her throat, reminding herself this was a professional relationship. Yet, the line between research and something more intimate was blurring fast. She moved toward her medical station, her fingers deftly activating the diagnostic scanner. "I want to check you for injuries. That last blast grazed your shoulder." Cole held out his arm, revealing a dark scorch mark where the energy had singed his armor, and the flesh beneath. Mara's purple fingers gently probed the wound, her touch surprisingly warm and tender despite the clinical setting. "You're lucky it wasn't worse," she murmured, applying a cooling gel that pulsed softly with nanotech healing properties. "Humans heal fast, but even you have limits." Cole winced slightly but didn't complain. Instead, his gaze dropped to her hands, tracing the delicate motions with a quiet fascination. "You're good at this." Mara met his eyes, a flicker of something unspoken passing between them. "It's part of my species' neural sensitivity. We can detect pain and respond precisely. But with you, it's different." "Different how?" Cole asked, his voice low. She hesitated, then said softly, "Your physiology is so robust that your pain responses are subdued compared to most species I've treated. Yet there's an underlying strength that's remarkable." Cole smiled, a slow, genuine curve of his lips that warmed the sterile room. "I guess that's what makes humans special." Mara's heart raced. Special indeed. As she finished dressing the wound, A sudden sharp jolt rattled the station, throwing them both off balance. The intercom crackled with urgent announcements. Pirate reinforcements were inbound, and this time, they weren't coming alone. Cole's expression darkened. They're not just after technology anymore. They want something or someone specific. Mara's mind raced. Could it be her research? The knowledge of human reproductive endurance? The secrets buried in their biology? She grabbed a compact energy pistol from the supply rack, handing one to Cole. If they breach this sector, we fight. Cole nodded, sliding his weapon into a ready position. Together, the minutes stretched into tense silence, broken only by the distant sounds of clashing energy weapons and structural impacts. Mara's pulse thundered in her ears, but she refused to show fear. Not now, not with Cole at her side. Then movement at the corridor's entrance, shadows shifting under the dim lights. The pirates had arrived. Cole stepped forward, steady and sure, his voice a calm anchor. Stay close. Watch my back. Mara steadied her breathing, feeling an unfamiliar thrill coursing through her veins. As they exchanged fire with the intruders, her scientific curiosity merged with raw survival instinct. She moved faster than she thought possible, her aim steady despite the chaos. Between bursts of gunfire, Cole's presence was a constant, protective, powerful, utterly human in every sense. His skill was breathtaking, but it was the quiet moments when their eyes met amid the firefight that spoke volumes. They weren't just fighting to survive. They were fighting for a future neither fully understood yet. When the last pirate fell, silence reclaimed the station. The adrenaline drain left Mara trembling, her body buzzing with a mix of relief and something deeper, something dangerous. Cole lowered his weapon, stepping toward her, the distance closing until there was barely space between them. You did good, he said, his voice rough with emotion. Mara swallowed hard, feeling the heat rise in her cheeks. So did you. Their hands brushed, light, accidental, and Mara felt an electric jolt shoot through her. The space between science and desire had vanished. Cole's eyes darkened with something tender and fierce. I'm here for you, Mara. Not just as a subject or a diplomat, as something more. Her breath caught. She wanted to believe him, to believe in the possibility of something beyond the sterile walls of Zephyr Station. As the station's systems hummed softly around them, Mara realized that this moment, born from danger and discovery, was the true beginning. The beginning of a connection that would challenge every theory she held, every rule she'd followed. Humans really were different. And now, so was she. The days that followed the attack on Zephyr Station unfolded with an intensity Mara had never anticipated. The station's usual rhythm, a steady hum of research and diplomacy, was replaced by a charged atmosphere where science and something far more intimate intertwined. In the quiet privacy of her quarters, Mara found herself alone, with Captain Cole Harper, away from the prying eyes of alien researchers and the cold scrutiny of data screens. The soft glow of the ambient light softened the sharp edges of the room, but the tension between them was anything but soft. Cole sat across from her, relaxed yet watchful, his dark eyes locking with hers. So, he began with a teasing smile. Where do we go from here? You said you wanted empirical data. I'm ready to volunteer. Mara swallowed, suddenly aware of how close he was, the warmth radiating from his powerful frame. The data I want, she said carefully, is very detailed. It involves understanding the interactions between human and Nexian biology on a level that's, well, very personal. Cole chuckled, the sound low and warm. I get it. Science isn't always neat and tidy. Sometimes it's messy. Messy is putting it mildly, Mara replied, her voice barely above a whisper. Our species differ in so many fundamental ways, neural pathways, hormonal balances, even skin sensitivity. Humans are robust, yes, but Nexians like me, we feel everything more deeply. It can be overwhelming. Cole's gaze softened. Sounds like you're warning me. She nodded. Consider it a friendly caution. My nervous system amplifies sensory input. Your touch could, well, it might be intense. His grin widened. Intense sounds like my kind of challenge. What followed was a slow, deliberate exploration, not just of biology, but of trust and vulnerability. Mara's scientific instruments recorded data, but their focus was on the unquantifiable. The electric charge in a glance, the warmth of skin against skin, the rapid heartbeat that wasn't just physical exertion. As their bodies moved in synchrony, Mara noted how Cole's stamina was extraordinary, just as the data had promised. His larger physiology and unique cellular regeneration allowed him to sustain energy and pleasure far beyond what any Nexian or other species could endure. But it wasn't just physical. There was a depth to Cole's presence, a patient, protective strength that made Mara feel safe even as her senses exploded in waves of sensation. She marveled at how their differences complemented each other. Her heightened sensitivity matched by his endurance, her delicate neural responses balanced by his grounded calm. At times, Cole teased, "You're the most fascinating research I've ever been part of." Mara smiled, her fingers tracing idle patterns on his chest. "And you're the most remarkable human I've ever met." Their moments together were punctuated by laughter and whispered confessions, the line between scientist and lover blurring with every shared breath. Mara's initial curiosity about human biology had transformed into a profound appreciation for the complexities of connection, biological, emotional, and beyond. One evening, as they rested tangled beneath the soft sheets of her quarters, Mara's voice was soft but steady. "Your species' reproductive organ, it's not just large. It's structurally and functionally superior in ways that give humans a clear advantage. It supports endurance, pleasure, and resilience. It's like a marvel of evolution." Cole's grin was mischievous. "I told you, we're built different." She laughed, then reached for a holopad, bringing up detailed images of human and Nexian anatomy side by side. "Look here," she pointed. "The internal support structures, the vascular systems, the nerve clusters. Humans have more robust design, both for pleasure and functionality." Cole's eyes gleamed with pride. "So basically, I'm a walking miracle." Mara shook her head with a smile. "A very well-engineered miracle." Their shared humor was a balm against the lingering tension of the recent attack and the heavy implications of their work. But beneath the smiles lay a growing awareness what they were discovering was groundbreaking. If human biology could adapt and harmonize with alien physiology this well, it could rewrite the rules of interspecies relations forever. Mara's fingers brushed against Cole's, a simple touch that sent a cascade of warmth through her. "We're not just breaking scientific boundaries," she whispered. "We're building something new, something real." Cole's hand covered hers, his voice steady. "Then let's see where this takes us. Together." In the quiet aftermath, as the alien stars watched over Zephyr Station, Mara and Cole embraced a future filled with possibilities. Their bodies and hearts intertwined in a dance as old as time, yet brand new to the galaxy, a testament to the enduring power of connection, discovery, and yes, the remarkable strength of the human touch. The unexpected fluttering in Mara's abdomen started as a faint whisper, easily dismissed amid the station's busy hum and her packed schedule. But days turned into weeks, and the sensations grew stronger, more persistent. At first, she chalked it up to stress, the lingering effects of the recent attack, or simply the intensity of her growing connection with Captain Cole Harper. But, deep down, she knew something was different. One evening, alone in her laboratory, Mara activated the biocam scanner, the device designed to analyze and interpret physiological data with unparalleled precision. The chamber bathed her in soft blue, light humming as it probed every cell, every nerve, every heartbeat. The results appeared instantly on the holoscreen, a cascade of numbers and patterns that should have made no sense. Mara's large green eyes widened in disbelief. The screen showed unmistakable evidence, new life growing within her, a hybrid. Pregnancy, combining human and Nexian DNA in a configuration that defied every known law of xenobiology. She blinked, running the scan again, hoping for an error. But the data remained consistent. She was pregnant, with Cole's child. The implications hit her like a tidal wave. Natural interspecies reproduction was thought impossible. Barriers of genetics, biochemistry, and cellular compatibility considered insurmountable. Yet here it was, undeniable proof that those boundaries could be crossed. Her mind raced. Was it the human reproductive cell's remarkable adaptability? Or perhaps her species' heightened neural sensitivity created a biological bridge? Or maybe, just maybe, the connection between her and Cole was more profound than science could explain. Before she could process further, the door slid open, and Cole entered. His keen eyes immediately caught the intense focus in Mara's expression. "What's going on?" he asked, concern sharpening his voice. Mara hesitated, then gestured at the screen. "You need to see this." Cole stepped closer, studying the genetic markers, the embryonic development outlines glowing softly on the display. "You're pregnant?" His voice was a mixture of wonder and disbelief. "Yes, a hybrid, our child." Mara's voice trembled with the weight of the revelation. "This shouldn't be possible, Cole. But here we are." Cole's expression shifted from shock to a quiet smile, his hand finding hers. "Humans have a reputation for surprises," he said softly. "Guess I'm not the only one." They stood together in the softly lit lab, the gravity of their discovery sinking in. This child was more than a miracle. It was a symbol of hope, a bridge between species, and a challenge to every assumption the galaxy held about life and love. But with the wonder came a shadow. Mara's eyes darkened with concern. "If word of this gets out..." "They'll come," Cole finished. "For research, for exploitation, or worse." Mara nodded grimly. Their enemies had already attacked the station once. Now, with this secret, they would be a target like never before. But neither was willing to back down. Together, they vowed, to protect the child growing inside her, and to uncover the deeper mysteries of their unique compatibility. As the days passed, Cole's protective instincts blossomed into something fierce and tender. He accompanied Mara to every medical check, his hand never leaving hers, his presence a steady shield against fear and uncertainty. Their relationship deepened beyond the physical into realms Mara had only dreamed of exploring. They shared whispered conversations about the future, about family, about the possibility of a new beginning for humans and Nexians alike. One quiet night, as the twin moons of Andromeda cast pale light through the viewport, Mara rested against Cole's broad chest, her fingers tracing gentle circles over her belly. "This changes everything," she whispered. Cole kissed the top of her head. "It changes us, and I wouldn't want it any other way." In that moment, surrounded by stars and the soft pulse of new life, Mara realized their journey was only beginning. A journey that would test the limits of science, challenge the fabric of galactic society, and prove once and for all that love could transcend even the most impossible boundaries. The weeks that followed Mara's astonishing discovery were a whirlwind of activity, emotion, and relentless preparation. Zephyr Station, once a quiet hub of interspecies research, transformed into the epicenter of one of the most groundbreaking scientific endeavors the galaxy had ever seen. Every corner buzzed with hushed conversations about the human-Nexian hybrid growing quietly within Mara, a living proof that shattered old beliefs and promised a new future. Mara and Cole worked closely together, their partnership evolving beyond science and survival into something deeper, stronger. The weight of their secret pressed upon them, but so did a fierce determination to protect their child and explore what this unprecedented union meant for both their species. In the lab, Mara's scans revealed fascinating details. The embryos, twins, no less, were developing rapidly, blending human resilience with Nexian neural sensitivity in ways no one had predicted. One twin showed a slight glow beneath its translucent skin, a hint of Nexian luminescence, while the other displayed muscular strength reminiscent of Cole's robust frame. "This isn't just biology," Mara mused one afternoon, her brow furrowed, as she analyzed the data. It's evolution in motion. Cole smiled, brushing a gentle hand over her growing belly. Our little miracles are already rewriting the rules. Outside the lab, the political landscape shifted. News of their research, and the possibility of natural human-alien reproduction, had leaked to select high councils and diplomatic channels. Some greeted it with excitement, seeing the potential for unprecedented alliances and hybrid vigor. Others reacted with fear, suspicion, and thinly veiled hostility. Threats surfaced quietly but unmistakably. Unknown factions sent warnings, and security on Zephyr Station tightened under Cole's watchful eye. He was more than a diplomat now. He was a guardian, determined to shield Mara and their family from any who might seek to exploit or harm them. Amid the challenges, their personal life flourished. Nights were filled with tender moments, soft laughter, whispered dreams, and explorations of a love that transcended species and biology. Mara discovered new depths to her own body and heart, marveling at how Cole's enduring passion and gentle care made her feel more alive than ever. One evening, as they sat watching the stars from the observation deck, Mara rested her head on Cole's shoulder. "Do you ever think about what they'll say? The others, the skeptics?" Cole tightened, his arm around her. "Let them talk. We have proof now. Proof that connection, love, and family can cross any divide." Mara smiled, warmth spreading through her. "Our children will be the bridge." They had chosen names for the twins rooted in Nexian tradition, symbols of guidance and strength, Theron and Thex, meant to be stars that lead travelers home. The names felt fitting, embodying hope in a galaxy often wary of change. As the twins grew within Mara, subtle signs of their unique heritage emerged. Sometimes one would respond sharply to distant sounds, her Nexian sensitivity flaring. Other times the other would trigger an inexplicable surge of energy in Mara, a reminder of Cole's human vigor. Scientists from multiple species requested access to study the hybrid embryos, eager to unlock the secrets within. Mara and Cole carefully controlled these interactions, knowing too well that knowledge could be a double-edged sword. Throughout it all, their bond was their sanctuary, a place where species differences melted away, replaced by love, trust, and the thrilling promise of new life. And then, one morning, Mara awoke to a gentle kick, strong, undeniable, and full of life. She smiled, tears in her eyes, knowing the impossible was becoming reality. Their family was growing, a living testament to humanity's resilience and the uncharted possibilities of love across the stars. Together, Mara and Cole stood ready to face whatever the galaxy might throw at them. Because this was more than science or politics, it was a new beginning written in the stars, carried in their hearts, and destined to change everything. Years had passed since that first fateful meeting at Zephyr Station, yet the story of Mara Lice and Captain Cole Harper, and their extraordinary family, remained a beacon throughout the galaxy. The twins, Theron and Thex, had grown from fragile embryos into vibrant young beings, living proof that the seemingly impossible was not just possible but thriving. The station itself had changed as well. What began as a humble outpost had blossomed into a thriving center of interspecies cooperation and scientific advancement, all thanks to the groundbreaking research sparked by Mara and Cole's unique bond. Diplomatic delegations from dozens of species came to study the hybrid children, to learn from the union of human endurance and Nexian sensitivity that challenged long-held beliefs about biology and compatibility. Mara and Cole, once mere scientist and diplomat, had become parents, teachers, and symbols of hope. Their love had transcended biology, politics, and fear, showing the galaxy that connection between species was more than just a biological quirk. It was a powerful force for unity and change. One quiet evening, as the three of them, Mara, Cole, and their twins, stood watching the swirling stars from the station's observation deck, Mara felt a deep sense of peace. The twins played nearby, their laughter echoing softly, a perfect harmony of human joy and Nexian grace. Cole slipped an arm around Mara's waist, his voice low and warm. Do you remember when this all started? With that question about human endurance? She laughed softly. I never imagined it would lead here. Family, discovery, revolution. He smiled, eyes shining with pride. Humans have always been adaptable. But this is something else. We didn't just survive. Out there, we reshaped the galaxy's understanding of life. Mara nodded, her gaze resting on their children. And the best part? We did it together. Their journey had not been without hardship. Threats still lingered in the shadows, those who feared change or sought to exploit the hybrid children for their own gain. But Mara and Cole faced these challenges with unwavering resolve, fueled by the strength of their love and the future they were building. The twins embodied that future, each a perfect blend of their parents' strengths and traits. Theron, with his human resilience and bold spirit, was already showing signs of becoming a leader. Thex, delicate yet fierce, possessed the heightened sensory awareness of their mother's people, with a curious mind and boundless empathy. Together, they were more than just children. They were living proof that the boundaries between species could be crossed, that biology was not destiny, and that love could rewrite the very rules of existence. As Mara watched her family under the shimmering, alien skies, she reflected on the journey. From a nervous xenobiologist intrigued by human biology, to a mother and partner standing at the forefront of a galactic revolution. The initial question, how could humans sustain such endurance, had been answered many times over. But the true answer was far richer. Humans were not just physically resilient. They were emotionally enduring, capable of forging bonds that transcended differences, of embracing the unknown with courage, humor, and an unyielding spirit. Cole squeezed her hand gently. Whatever comes next, we face it as one, human, Nexian, and everything in between. Mara smiled, her heart full. Together. Under the vast tapestry of stars, their story closed one chapter and opened another, one where hope, love, and the remarkable human spirit would continue to shine, lighting the way for generations to come. And that, dear listener, is the true power of humanity, adaptable, unbreakable, and endlessly capable of love beyond all bounds.